I hope that you're well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 2 English lesson on possessive pronouns. So, we'll be doing our grade 2 English lesson on possessive pronouns. And before we start with our lesson on possessive pronouns, we're going to log into aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged into aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of language arts. And then grade 2. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of possessive pronouns. And before we go into possessive pronouns, we are doing our lesson on aplusstudents.ca. So our tutorial lesson we are doing on aplusstudents.ca. And our chapter for today is possessive pronouns. Our subject is English, which is language arts, grade 2. And the lessons that we are focusing on today is to identify possessive pronouns and to use possessive pronouns. So we need to identify possessive pronouns and we're going to use possessive pronouns. And once again, our tutorial lesson is on aplusstudents.ca. So we're going into our lesson now. So possessive pronouns, it takes the place of a possessive noun. It's the same as saying a pronoun takes the place of a noun. So now we're just saying that a possessive pronoun takes the place of a possessive noun. So we said a possessive pronouns, it takes the place of a possessive noun. And they show who or what owns something or has something. So if you own something or you have something, or it belongs to someone else, belongs to me, or whatever, right? Then we use words like my, yours, its, theirs, ours, hers, his. So we see that possessive pronouns, right? It must not take the place of a possessive noun. And with possessive pronouns, they show who or what owns something or has something. And like I say, it can be my belongings, It can be your belongings. It can be his, it can be hers, it can be our things, or it can be their stuff. So those are possessive pronouns. So we use words like my, your, his, her, its, our, and their as possessive pronouns. So if we look at our example, right, it says grandma bought grandma's book along or brought. So grandma brought grandma's book along. So if we rewrite that sentence by adding the correct possessive pronoun, then we can say grandma bought her or brought her book along. Because now you're asking yourself, whose book is it? It is grandma's, because she is bringing it with to the example park, beach, wherever. So grandma brought grandma's book along. All right. So once again, if we look at this example of grandma brought grandma's book along, then we basically replace that word grandma that is being repeated with the word it. So now we say grandma brought her. Sorry, it is replaced with her. Grandma brought her book along. And that is why we say possessive pronouns. Grandma brought her along, and her represents grandma. All right, let's go to aplusstudents.ca. We are still on possessive pronouns. Now we're going to identify possessive pronouns. All right, so if we identify possessive pronouns, let's click in there. We say that possessive pronouns, it takes the place of possessive nouns, and this shows who or what owns something or if it has something. And we said like possessive pronouns, right, are my, your, his, her, its, our, and their. These are possessive pronouns. Because remember, it shows possession. Shows it is either belongs to you, belongs to someone else, belongs to whoever. And remember we said the possessive pronoun. The pronoun, it takes the place of, let's say, the noun, which is whichever specific thing, but that is actually replacing a noun. And an example is, it says the young boy plays with his toys. So now here, the first activity, it says the young boy plays with his toys, right? And here they're saying the possessive pronoun is now his. And it takes place of the young boys. And it shows that the toys belong to the young boy. So yeah, if we look at this one, it says the young boy plays with the younger toys. But if we also want to replace that word or that nouns, we can say the boy plays with his toys. Is our lunch ready yet? So is our lunch ready yet? So we remember we said that we are doing possessive pronouns. And a possessive pronoun, it takes the place of possessive noun. All right, so is our lunch ready yet? So we said this is possessive pronouns, right? And it takes the place of a possessive noun. And when it comes to it taking the place of a possessive noun, then they show who or what owns something or has something. So words like my, your, his, her, it's, our, and they, or their. This is possessive pronouns. All right, so we said possessive nouns are words like my, your, his, her, its, our, and their. And these are possessive pronouns. If we look at this example, right, of the is our lunch ready yet? Our possessive pronoun over there is our. So is our lunch ready yet? So it's like almost asking yourself, like, whose lunch? So our lunch ready yet? So now we said the possessive pronouns, it takes the place of possessive nouns. And they show us who or what owns something or has something. It can either be mine, yours. In this case, is our lunch ready, right? Which means that you're going to identify the word our, because our is a possessive pronoun. Is our lunch ready yet? So our is the same as saying we, right? But of course, grammatically, if it's within a sentence, then we can say is we lunch ready, right? So it's our lunch ready. So our is a possessive pronoun, and it is not the possessive form of we. The luncheon just belongs to us, our. All right. All right. So now we need to select the possessive pronoun. Your painting is so your painting is so beautiful. So your painting is so beautiful. So your is our possessive pronoun. So your painting is so beautiful. And remember, we said a possessive pronoun, it takes the place of a possessive noun. And they will only show who or what owns something or has something. And we see the possessive pronouns are my, your, his, her. It's our, their, and their. And we see that possessive pronoun is your, which is that first word, which is your painting is so beautiful. And it takes the possessive form of you, your, and you. All right. So basically, we say that it is a possessive pronoun. The possessive pronoun is we, is your, and it is the possessive form of you. So your, it is a possessive form of you. And also it shows that the painting belongs to you. All right. So your is our possessive pronoun. Let us go to the test. All right. So now if we look at our your painting is so beautiful. Your painting is so beautiful. So we already see that your painting is so beautiful. Now we are en route to our test. So we need to identify possessive pronouns, right? You need to select the possessive pronoun. The boys will sleep in your tent. So is it will or your? The boys will sleep in your tent. Your or will. So if we select the possessive pronoun, then we can say that the boys will sleep in your tent. Will. Is it either will sleep in your tent or your? So we will say will sleep in your tent. Oopsie. So we say that the boys will sleep in your tent. Oh, your. Sorry, your. So yours is the possessive pronoun. I forgot about the possessive pronoun. So remember the possessive pronouns are your, I, we, they, and so on. Forgot about that. I apologize for that one. Wendy found her cat in the yard. Wendy found her cat in the yard. So Wendy found her cat in the yard. Is it found or is it her? Found or her? All right, if we select the possessive pronoun, then we can say Wendy found her cat in the yard. Found her cat in the yard. Her. So Wendy found her cat in the yard. Then we also have, you need to select the possessive pronoun. The dog wags its tail. The dog wags its tail. So the dog wags its tail. Its. Do we say his or her specifically for, let's say, things or animal? So we can then say that to select the possessive pronoun, we say its. And its tail refers to, or it, yeah, it refers to the dog. The twins play in their wagons. The twins play wagons. So the twins play with their wagon. So if we select the possessive pronoun, is it twins? So we said that the twins play with their wagon. So basically, we asking ourselves now, so we say that the twins play with their wagon, right? So now if we select the possessive pronoun, it's either twins or their. So we then say that the twins, they play in their wagon, right? Which means that their, not twins, but their are possessive pronoun. So now we are going to use possessive pronouns. We identified it, so now we're going to use it. And we said the possessive pronouns, it takes the place of a possessive noun. And they show who or what owns something or has something. So they basically show who and what owns something or who has something. And basically, the possessive pronouns, right? They are my, your, his, her, its, our, and their. So we need to use the possessive pronouns. All right. So now if we look at possessive pronouns, we said it takes the place of a possessive noun, right? So possessive takes the place of a possessive noun. And they basically show who or what owns something. or has something. For example, if we use words like my or your, his, her, it's, our, or they call that possessive pronouns. And now, if we look at the sentence that says complete the sentence with the correct possessive pronoun, those games belongs to us. If something belongs to us, then it is whose game? Then it's whose game? Is it my game, your game, his game, her game, its game, our game, or their game? That is if it belongs to us. So if something belongs to us, do we say it is mine, yours, his, her, its, our, or their? All right, so we basically then say those games belong to us, which means that are they are our games. So if the games belong to us, then we say it is our games, right? Because it belongs to us. Belongs to us. So those games belong to us. They are our games. We need to complete the sentence with the correct possessive noun. Those cards belong to them. So those cards belong to them. So they are cards. Do we say it's them cards? So if something belongs to them, do we say it is them cards? So those cards belong to them. If something belongs to them, then we can say it is their. It is their card. So which means that our correct possessive pronoun is their. Mm. So there is our possessive pronoun. And now that cat belongs to her. So if that cat belongs to her, then it is kite. Then whose kite is it? It belongs to her. So that kite belongs to her, so then we basically say it is her cat. So her. So that kite belongs to her, so we can say it is her kite. Her kite. So we already have that one. They're saying that the kite belongs to her. If the kite belongs to her, then who does the kite belong to? Hmm. So that means we can say that the kite, this kite or that kite belongs to her. It is her kite. So we said that kite belongs to her. So it is her kite. Right? So if it belongs to her, then it is her kite. And her is our possessive pronoun. And it shows that the kite belongs to her. All right, so now we're going to so that kite belongs to her. It is kite. So we said it is hers. All right, so now we're going to our test where we are using possessive pronouns. So we're going to complete the sentence with the correct possession, right? The radio or that radio belongs to you. So that radio belongs to you. So if the radio belongs to you, then we can say it is it your radio or is it you radio? So that radio belongs to you. Is it your radio or is it you radio? So if we say that radio belongs to you, then it is your radio. Cannot be you radio, it is your radio. Yes, so your. Those balls belong to the students. So if it belongs to the students, then they are, is it their balls or they are its balls. So their balls or its balls. So we basically say it is their balls. All right. And then that television belongs to him. Now we say it is his television or it is her television. That television belongs to him. Is it his television or her television? So we can then basically say that television belongs to him, so it is his television. And that car belongs to Mrs. Tang. So if that car belongs to Mrs. Tang, do we say it is her car or do we say it is his car? So we say that car belongs to Mrs. Tang. It is her car. And her is correct. So that is our lesson on possessive nouns, right? We said possessive noun. It tells us who owns something, or has something, or wants something. We call it possessive pronouns. So remember, we said the possessive pronouns. It shows either something, it shows who owns something, or basically who wants something. And during the course of this lesson, we had to identify pronouns as well as we use pronouns, right? And we were able to identify whether it is a pedestrian, whether it is a possessive pronoun or if it is not, or which one is the correct one. So now that is the end of our lesson on possessive pronoun. You should have a good day further. Goodbye.